Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the Prison Outreach Programs process and series. Having with us today Sister Hamdia Cooks Abdullah, may Allah bless her, and Sister Georgiana coming from Arizona. And we're going to get into their programs and things that they're doing, but I just want to begin by explaining. Last week we spoke with one of the brothers who have gone through the experience of being incarcerated and getting out, and Sister Hamdia and I've known each other for decades, and she was one of the most phenomenal Muslims behind the walls, making sure that Islam had a presence. And I just want her to kind of give a explanation about her life and that experience at Dublin and the challenges that the women have inside without the community's support, but yet how they're still able to sustain themselves. So, Sister Hamdia, a little bit about yourself as an introduction.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, and may the peace of God be upon all of you. I really appreciate this opportunity. I spent 20 years in the federal system, and all of those 20 years, I want to call myself somewhat of a freedom fighter for Islam in particular and for women in general, because we had to fight and struggle almost every day just to be recognized as human, as having and needing human potential and human needs. I was really blessed to have in Imam Abdul Hafiz I want to say a brother-sister organization, as he was in Terminal Island and we were in Dublin, California. We didn't have a lot of support because we didn't have an imam, a leader among the staff who represented us. Although my, I think, fierce determination to make sure that we weren't overlooked or our needs left behind. I was always on the phone, writing letters, making sure that we were supported in the way that we deserved. And this was a struggle for so many years for just basic needs. So I know what happens when you're locked up. You don't have someone out there in the free world, supposedly free world, helping to make sure that your voices and your needs are heard. You really don't have a lot of hope, because when you have people on the outside that you know care about you enough to fight for you, to argue for you, to make your voices heard, then you have hope. And that's how I was able to do my time. I had hope. I never gave up hope. Even though for many years I went to the parole board and was denied. You know, so like I say, I spent 20 calendar years, but I never gave up hope because I had people like Imam Abdul Hafiz, and there were other sisters who came in and other organizations who supported us. But I just want folks to know, who may not realize, people that are locked up are still human, and they need so much support from people outside. And if you don't have that, some give up hope. They give up hope in a lot of different negative ways. And if we continue to have a connection with people on the outside that care, then we have hope. And as long as you have hope, you have the ability to move on with your life. When you give up hope, you do not have the ability to move on with your life. You're just stuck. So having hope, having faith, having the belief that God is in control, no matter what they put at you and bring forth in your presence. You know that if you have hope, you have life. I do want to also say this. The Christian minister in Dublin was a jewel for me, but I forced that because we didn't have anyone else. So he knew we were serious, and when people know you're serious and you don't play, then they are willing to go the next step. Because real, if you're not serious, then move on out of the way for people that are serious, because it takes an important just force in yourself to not give up, and let people know you're serious. So I wanna just thank Brother Imam. Like I said, he said, we've known each other for decades. I was locked up for 20 years and I got out in 2002. I've been blessed to work for an organization, Legal Services for Prisoners with Children, since my release. And I've had different capacities, job opportunities since then. I'm also a founding member of All of Us or None, which is a network and organizational support for formerly incarcerated people all over the nation now. We have chapters all over the country. So I just want to really thank Brother Imam, who's still working on behalf of people inside. Because when I got locked up, we had a whole, I was in the federal system, but there was a different atmosphere. Even though it was oppressive, it was a different atmosphere. Almost now you don't have, you really have to have that support from the outside to even move anything forward. So thank you for all you've done and continue to do, Brother Imam. And I appreciate when I was able to open a house up in Phoenix, Arizona for women that I know need support. I was able to meet Georgiana, who is a Christian pastor, but has our same values and belief in this life. And so I want to encourage us to support and work in coalition with other people, because we have to be together. There's just too many factors that are against us, and too many areas of life that we need support in, that we can't do it alone. So God willing, we will continue to work together and support each other. Thank you, Brother Imam. I will let you.
I want to just again, thank you so much and ask Allah to continue to bless you, because the strength that you showed behind those walls, not just for yourself, but for all of the women that were there, the consistent struggles that you had just for the sisters to be able to have a hijabs. And when you were, released and came home, you never forgot the women that were behind, and you've always worked towards and for them. And I just would love for you again to share with the community, about the house that you have in Arizona, and with the partnership with Sister Georgiana, working with you, and with persons who have recently come home, so you can have them to share some of the things that they're able to do and the support that they continue to need.
Thank you. Yeah, a couple of years ago, my husband and I were very blessed to be able to purchase property in Phoenix. And I'm, constantly trying to figure out, what am I going to do when I retire? Because I'm getting older, and I don't have, being locked up 20 years, you don't have that 401k or any other real support. So I was doing some Airbnb, thinking that, that was going to get me where I needed to go, owning this property. And I wasn't satisfied. I just kept telling my husband, I want to do something else. This is not working. This is not satisfying for me. And he just said, do what you need to do. So then I was so blessed. I said, I need to allow women to come into this house and have a safe space to live and thrive. And women that want to focus on what they want to do for the rest of their lives. What kind of career path? What kind of job do you want to get? What kind of education? So what I ended up doing was trying to open a house that was modeled after a program in California, as well as in Northern and Southern California, called oh God, my brain just I'm sorry.
Better way.
Better way. Well, I met Georgiana. Long story short, I was able to meet Georgiana through her working with actually a company that my son worked for. But he said, "Mama, you want to do something with this house? I have a person that you need to meet, who's been there, done that as well, who knows, you know, what it's like to be out on the street, who knows what it's like to be locked up." So when we met, you know, it was just kind of all over. We knew that this was a good connection. This was a perfect connection. So I want to let Georgiana have an opportunity to kind of tell a little bit about who she is and her story, and how that was so how that connection was so real for both of us. But she had been out quite a while, so had I. She had done some successful things with her life, but had never given up hope for people like us, for people that had been out there. So please, Georgiana.
Thank you, thank
I'll
you.
look at that name in a second.
Blessings. It is an honor to meet you. Blessings, as I'm here with my sister Michelle. I am Georgiana Kelly, now Pastor Kelly. I lived a life of addiction from the age of 13, from the age of 13 to the age of 30 years old. Not to go into any great detail, in and out of prison the majority of my life, in and out of jail the majority of my life. I think I've been to the penitentiary 4 times, probably spent within those 4 times, probably about 15 years in and out of prison. I got out and I made my mind up that I wasn't going back. I started working for a company called Super Shuttle. I worked my way up from being a reservation agent to a dispatcher to literally the assistant GM over the Phoenix region district is where I met Ms. Hamdia's son. I was his manager, and he was a franchise owner over 4 franchises. So he was this really big owner over four franchises that he had, but I was his manager, and they all knew my story. They knew it was kind of like a stardom story from rags to riches, you know, and I'm not one that really, I'm very vocal about where I've been, you know, a life of prostitution, a life of drugs, a life of incarceration, like I said, even a life of homosexuality, just being involved in all of that. And when I got tired of being sick and tired, I gave my life over to God, and he cleaned me up. He washed me clean. And I started a ministry. My ministry is an outreach ministry where we go out into the streets, we feed the homeless. And my heart is to give back, like Ms. Hamdia's heart is to the community, to reach me, who I used to be, who I was, the prostitute, the addict, the drug dealer, the whoever you can think, the one living in sin, for me to go back out and reach. And so that's what my ministry is about. So when Ms. Hamdia asked to meet with me, we sat in this house right here on our first interview with me, her interviewing me, and I cried like a baby. This is my destiny. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I've been missing in my life. Is to be able to help women, help women change their mind, help women change their mindset, help women come to understand that there's greater in them, help women come to want greater, help women to get an understanding of who God is and what God has for them. All along since the beginning of creation, who he is mandated for them to be. So I'm very excited. Matter of fact, Michelle wasn't really dealing with any, she had been clean for about a year and a half. And we been networking on social media. She's seen the house and she said, you know, look, I know what you're doing over there, and I just feel like I want to come from the Carolinas. She flew in from the Carolinas. She flew in. We picked her up at the airport, and she moved right on in. Come on. So it's amazing stories here, you know. So she is working at Goodwill and involved in ministry and getting ready to start school, college. The majority of the women that are here are also getting ready to start college. We got one that's kind of just a little bit, you know, lacking in some areas, but she'll get a hold of it. So the house is really based with programming for one-on-one counseling, not only just one-on-one counseling with me, but one-on-one mentoring, as well as being ministered to with the things of God. And we also we do the 12-step program where it's not just the 12, God is my doorknob, or God is my, you know, no, God is God. He is God. And it's only one God, and He is God, and that's who He is. We don't say God is my doorknob. God, make God your higher power. He is all power. So I teach them that. I just don't, it's not just, no, God has to be in your life in order for you to do anything. Without Him, you can't do nothing. So let's not rely on these little 12 steps. Come on. We just got to do this here. But let's really make it what it is. It's He who will change your life. So that's what we implement. Due to the coronavirus, we haven't really been able to do a lot of things as we would like to go out. We were supposed to go tubing. Ms. Hamdia has sent some money so we can go tubing on the Salt River. And unfortunately, the coronavirus attacked again Arizona. So we went out to go eat and spent the money on eating. The women here are growing, and I'll be able to allow Michelle to speak for a second, growing spiritually, growing mentally, very focused. The structure here is, this is not a revolving door. It's not a revolving door, which you see with a lot of halfway houses and transitional homes and 3-steps homes. No, this is a house that Ms. Hamdia wanted to be a house of love, a house of feeling worthy. She got flat screens all on their walls. She's got full cable in every room. You know, she's giving these women the best, and I'm sure we can take some pictures and get them over to you guys. Their backyard is just awesome, green grass. She makes sure she takes care of, and she's away out where she's at, but she makes sure she takes care of this house. And it's such an honor to work with her. But the women have a place to feel safe. Not rushed into feeling like you got to get up and you got to get a job. You got to do this. You got to know. That's not the type of attitude that she wants in this house, and that's not the type of attitude and behavior. This house is a place of love. It's a place of healing. One of the ladies that is here, she calls it a house of healing. Not only are we dealing with, we have one lady that came from the Carolinas. We just got one lady who just got out of the penitentiary. She's been successfully, she did 7 years. She got out and went to a halfway house, but I told her that halfway house don't need you. I need you right here with me, come on. So I snatched her from that halfway house and we got her over here. Then we have another lady who had been working a program called at the Dream Center. She worked a 6-month program, so she came and saw the atmosphere, and she asked if she wanted to transition here to start the rest of her life. So this is a place where you start the rest of your life right here. This is a place where you get healed. This is a place where you come and you feel the love. This is a place where we connect. This is a place where God is at. This is a place where healing is at. This is a place where virtue is at. This is a place where Proverbs 31 is at. Come on. This is a place where women are, come on, you feel me? This is a place where the women are coming together and they're in agreement with the plans for their lives. There's no hostility. There's no turmoil. There's none of that in this house, because God won't allow it. If you say you love God, you got to act like God up in here. Come on. That's just how we do it up in here.
Very good. Can we hear a little bit from Michelle?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Michelle. Like Pastor Georgiana said, I was following her on Facebook. Now, I don't have any penitentiary time. I spent 3 weeks in jail, and that was enough for me to know that I never wanted to ever go behind bars again. And so my struggle became then just dealing with certain issues in life that now I needed to get the victory over addiction. But there's a thing that Miss Hamdia said. Is to inspire and encourage the people to have hope. Oops, excuse me. You got it. Is to have hope, because if you don't have hope, you're not going to move forward. You're not going to be productive. And this is the thing I love about this house here, is it does inspire us to have hope. That no matter where your background has been, that as long as you have hope, you can be productive, you can move forward, and you can accomplish things. So yes, I'm working my job at Goodwill, which I like. I'm also starting school in August in a transfer program where I'll be working on an associate's and bachelor's to be finished in 2 years and 9 months. And then another thing, like the certain goals that we make here, like for myself, I hadn't been also attending to my care, so it gave me like my health care. So it also gave me the opportunity to get my health care on track, some conditions that I needed to deal with so I can be healthier. So it's a house that not only is for healing, but it's for wholeness, like in whatever area that you need it, that you can be productive in that. And I'm just grateful for Ms. Hamdia. I'm grateful for Pastor Georgiana, and I'm grateful for the ladies that'll get an opportunity to come in here and learn. Just have some hope. You can move forward. Just have some hope. You can be productive and you can accomplish and go far.
Thank you so much. And I'm just so thankful to be able to share this, with the community, that they can see how you women, through the mercy of God, have used your faith and continue to have hope and to trust and to have this beautiful outcome that is continuing in your lives, and how you're giving back to others, so that the community can see the value of every human being, and that, because of an incident in your life didn't define who you were and what God wanted to become. And you've shown that, you're showing that, you're giving back. And I'm just hoping that what you're doing will inspire so many others to support women that are, behind the bars, as well as those who come home, because I know the difficulty that women go through is much different than men. When a man goes to jail, his mom doesn't leave him, his girl doesn't leave him, his wife doesn't leave him, his kids doesn't leave him. When a woman goes to prison, oftentimes she loses her family, she loses the community, she loses so much support, and they don't have anywhere close to the kind of visits that the men get. And then when the woman strives to be of faith, the strength that you have to have internally to overcome the distractions, is just so beautiful. And I'm just so pleased that you all were willing to share your stories and to share your hopes and to share your aspirations and to show what determination does, and to show how God moves in people's lives, that God is real and his word is real, and it lives in this moment, because you are the exemplars of this moment. And I just pray that your testimonies and your life realities
Just froze.
It froze.
Yeah, he just froze.
Yeah. Imam, your internet has frozen.
There you go.
it froze, it came back. But again, I'm just so pleased for this, and hope we'll do this again,
Yes.
because again, what you are sharing is going to make a difference for so many others, and Sister Hamdia,
Yes, I
closing
just want to
remarks.
say, the program is Project Rebound, that I was so inspired to see in here in California, as well as Northern and Southern, throughout the California State University system. And it's focused on people getting an education post-incarceration. And in Southern California, they started a Project Rebound house that is currently only housing men. But my idea for the house in Phoenix was to focus it on a Project Rebound model, but supported women coming out. There's so many programs for men that we don't have an opportunity to participate in. So women need so many more support systems, and we have to do it for each other. So I was hoping to start this house, and could not do it alone. So having Pastor Georgiana was a godsend for me because I wanted to do it, but I knew that unless I had someone, and I couldn't use my son as a man helping to program helping to support a house that was for all women. So I needed a woman. And God just brought her into my life to be able to continue to do and realize this dream. So I really, really appreciate having to speak about what we're doing and to continue to support people coming out of jails and prisons. That's so neat. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the beauty of your relationship, because it shows through the interfaith, and the partnerships. And this is what we must be about, is all good people coming together to do good works and do good things for all other people. So may God bless you all. Thank you. And I look forward again to continuing this relationship in the future.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.